All right. What's up? What's up, everyone? How's it going? Okay. Listen up, guys. It is rain tank time. I got to stop the music because it's looping. This is our almost once a year. We only do this twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, and it's happening today. It's the rain tank. Okay. This is our version of Shark Tank. We are streaming this in lots of different places. We're streaming this in our mastermind. We're streaming this actually on YouTube, which is pretty fun. We're streaming this into some of our community groups. And so, Rain Tank is the Rainmaker version of Shark Tank, where we have community members who have built brands. They've actually gone through our Inner Circle Accelerator program, which is like an 8-week accelerator pulling really valuable levers in your business to position your business to actually scale and sell. Right. So if you're in our mastermind and you haven't heard about Inner Circle, that's what it is. And we're so excited today because we get to bring in some special guests. These are 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, people that have built businesses. They've gone through the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. And with that, they carry a lot of wisdom. Okay. And so I'm so excited to have you on. I also have co-host Danielle. Danielle, come say hey.
What's up, everybody? Hello. Woo! If you are ready for Rain Tank, can you type in the chat, I'm ready? Because look, this is about to be powerful. And I need you to be in a position to be ready for this. Okay? So again, if you're ready, type in the chat. Let's get the energy up. Because what you're going to see today very well could be you one day. So I want you to be thinking, how can this be of value to me? What could this mean for my life? And then let's not forget the courage it takes to step into a room like this and to speak in front of a bunch of people. That's not most people's comfort zones, right? So not only do we want to just welcome those who are showing up, showing out from our inner circle, and also those who've gone before us and have built these businesses that we also want ourselves. I want you to just see what could be here for me. What breakthrough could I receive from seeing the breakthrough in the room today? So I want you to get ready for that. And I want you to, our community, we're all about givers. Right? We're all about showing up, being generous. So I want you to also be like, how can I give in the chat today? Like, how can I shower some wisdom, shower some encouragement, right? We all need that in our lives. So get excited and get ready. Today is going to be so powerful.
Yeah, this is such a powerful event because one, we're having our Rainmakers present like their brand. This is something they've worked towards through an Inner Circle Accelerator. They're like showing off what they got, and we've really helped them with crafting the messaging and actually positioning the brand if they were to go to investors. So what we have in the room are these are real investors, but we're not expecting them to. Hey, you guys, no pressure. You don't have to make investments today, but we are asking for investment of time and wisdom, and that is where everyone in the room gets the gold. That's why we share this into our entire event, because you get to hear like, oh, you know what? I love this, but like, I would tweak this. If you're really trying to scale, I might do this instead, right? And these sharks just bring that wisdom because they've been through it. And so really quick, I'm going to intro some of the sharks. I don't have any fancy bios. I know these guys. So I'm just going to kind of wing this. We got first up here. Let me see if I can, I'm going to pin myself. Let's see. We're going to do some fancy Zoom tech here. So pin to first screen. Okay. And then first I want to introduce Samantha. What's up, Samantha? Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Okay, Samantha's been on our podcast. So if you want to hear her full story, you definitely should go listen to it. But her and her husband, like they scaled a really big business, actually in the ATM space. Okay, so if you ever got money from ATM, did you know there's a business running that behind the scenes? And theirs was one of the biggest. Like it was massive, and they actually exited that business. So that again is like what a lot of our students are gearing towards. Like I want to not just build a brand, not just have a side hustle, but I want to build something I can potentially sell. So she's gone through that with investors, to like all the intensity of that, and actually got to the other side. A lot of businesses don't actually get to the other side of the exit. So she's done it. And so she can really speak from that investor perspective, as well as she really does a ton of investing and coaching on investing. You name it, she's probably invested in something in that space, right? So Samantha, so glad to have you here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Hey, Steven, real quick, can I just pop in? I just want you all to know that I started my company with a credit card and $2,000. And we successfully had an 8-figure exit 2 years ago. So
Woo.
it can be done on a shoestring and it can be done well. And there's so many different ways for business to go, but I just like literally want you to start off knowing like we bootstrapped the entire thing from the get-go, and it can be done. So
Man, I love it.
as we go.
You're speaking our love language here. So let me bring up our next guest. Speaking of bootstrapping it from the beginning, Andrea Olson, you guys. So Andrea Olson, mom of many, started. I believe I'm not sure exactly the full story, Andrea, but I know like it was rough when you started. Like it was like food stamps rough. It was like, am I
Yeah.
getting this right? Yeah. Okay. So
It was
and
food stamps, living in a friend's cabin for free for 6 months. And then, yeah, Tiny Andy's Andrea Olson, Jessica in the chat. And then, yeah, so I had zero. I had nothing. We were on food stamps. I had one child. Now I have 6 children and a consistent 7-figure business. And I still only work 3 hours a day. So even if you're limited on time or money, it's totally possible. And Tiny Undies was my second business. I started that with no investment, no debt, nothing. So yeah, it's
Yes.
possible.
And a lot of our inner circle members are kind of learning about lead gen funnels and all these things. Like Andrea started with a digital product teaching moms and dads how to potty train their babies from birth. So this is a crazy thing. And I know a lot of our moms are crazy. So they're like, oh, that's me. I did this. This is not me. I'm like still trying to potty train our 3-year-old, but she's got a hack and you can start early. You can have your kids using the potty by like 6 months. Like it's crazy. And so then it created another problem because, when you have a 6-month-old who's using the potty, there's no underwear that small. So she launched Tiny Undies, an e-commerce brand selling tiny underwear, tiny potties. It's like the cutest thing ever. So, Andrea, we've had on our podcast. She was a shark last year. So welcome, Andrea. So glad to have you here. It's going to be fun having you. All right,
Glad
let
to
me
be
do
here.
another one here. Let me do another one. Okay, we got 2 more to introduce, and then we're gonna get started, you guys. Up next, we got Karen Thomas. Karen Thomas, what's up? Hey.
Hey, Rainmakers. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me, Stephen.
So glad to have you. Like we met Karen through Helium 10. She was like on the Helium 10 team, but really, she had all this bubble up potential inside of her and went off and did her own thing. We've had her train in our communities a handful of times, but Karen carries a lot of authority because like she has not just built the business, she's been through the stuff. You guys know the stuff. The stuff is the squeeze. The stuff is the intensity. The stuff is like everything being ripped out from underneath your feet and actually continuing on, like what do you do in those moments? And so Karen, I love having you here because you keep it real and you always bring so much value when it comes to like brand and positioning and messaging and all those things. So thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Last shark to introduce. We got, the king is Joshua Stevens in the house. What's up, Joshua?
What's going on, Steven? How are you?
Good to see you, man. So Joshua is creator of the King's Loot wallet, which I'm currently sporting right now on my phone. This is like the iPhone version, just sticks there. But man, runs an 8-figure brand, but more than that, a great dude, great husband, great father. And he really brings, I would say, a supernatural perspective to scaling your brand. Sometimes the strategy isn't, the latest funnel or marketing tactic. Sometimes it's doing something that is otherworldly. Okay. And so Joshua's going to bring that today for you guys, giving you feedback on your brand and for the entire community. So welcome, Joshua. Excited to have you here, man.
Sweet. Thank you, Steven.
All right. Here we go, you guys. So removing that pin. You guys ready to get started? You guys ready to get started? Okay. So how this is going to work is we are going to bring up our first, what do you call like the person going up in front of the sharks? Is it like a minnow or is it I'm not sure. So we're going to bring up our first Rainmaker. Okay. This is a Rainmaker that went through our Inner Circle Accelerator, recently graduated. Okay. And she's going to be presenting her brand. Okay. So let me play some fun music here. Here we go. Our first contestant today. So each contestant's going to be presenting for about 5-10 minutes, and it's actually 5 to 7 minutes, showing their brand off, and then we're going to open it up for feedback from the the sharks. So if you're a shark, okay, and you're watching this thing, I want you to be taking notes. Like, what do you see in there that's awesome, but what do you see that can be improved, right? Oh, I would position this a different way. I have this question. If I was really thinking about investing in this brand, this is what I'd be asking, right? This is so valuable to have your feedback. So thank you, sharks. And with the first shark presenter we're going to bring up, it's Sammy Cummings with brand Ridge Frost. So welcome up, Sammy. I'm going to bring you to the stage here.
Hello. Thank
Hello,
you for having me.
Let me
see if I
remove
can
my
get
pin
this.
so people can see you. All right. So Sammy, come on up here.
Okay, let me see if I can get the tech to work here. Oh, it says someone else is sharing.
Go for it. That was me. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Try now.
Okay. All right, can you see it?
We got you. All right. You're on.
Perfect. Hold on. I gotta move people. Here we go. Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here. Ridge Frost was born from a simple but powerful realization. We only get so much time with our kids while they're little. And for families like mine who live for the adventure, the weekends, the hikes, the spontaneous lake days, prepping for those memories shouldn't be the hardest part. This brand is about helping families stretch every second they have with their kids, not by adding more stuff, but by simplifying what they need. Today, I'm going to walk you through the Ridge Frost brand, its purpose, its people, and the path we're building forward. Because Ridge Frost isn't just a product, it's a promise to make the most out of the moments that matter most. Before we dive in, I just want to offer a quick heads up. This isn't your typical pitch. We're about to take you on an adventure because this brand was built from lived experience, from motherhood in the wild, and from desire to stretch every second we get with our kids. So buckle up. This is Ridge Frost, and this is what it feels like to build a brand that lives outside. Meet Ridge Frost, a brand built for adventure moms who are the heartbeat of their family, navigating the chaos of packing for outdoor adventures. She values the outdoors, but often carries the mental load of planning for everyone. She's not just packing snacks, she's packing the emotional labor of the entire outing. At the heart of Ridge Frost is this belief: the moments we spend outside with our kids are the ones they'll remember. But the stress of preparation often gets in the way. Our mission is simple: to help families stretch the seconds with minimal prep and maximum connection. Every Ridge Frost product is designed to help you spend less time packing and more time living. Because when it's easy to get out the door, it's easier to say yes to more time outside. And those moments add up. Planning adventures with kids is overwhelming at best. It's a lot of bags and a lot of snacks. I know this because I'm living it. With a newborn and an 18-month-old in the middle of an Alaskan winter, I felt stuck. The pediatrician recommended daily outdoor time for postpartum depression, so I bundled them up, sometimes in 0-degree weather, and realized it wasn't the cold that stopped me, it was the prep. That often took longer than the actual time we spent outside. Ridge Frost simplifies outdoor adventures so families can stress less about what they forgot and focus more on what they're doing, making memories that will outlast childhood. This is Emily. She's our core customer, a 38-year-old mom of 2 who values family time but often feels overwhelmed by the prep that comes with it. She's trying to do it all and do it well. Ridge Frost was built for her to help her feel capable, confident, and connected to her kids without feeling burnt out or buried in gear. We built Ridge Frost around a truth that hits hard. You only get 18 summers. That's it. Ridge Frost helps parents stretch those summers and the seconds in between. When I was at a breaking point, I knew I needed to shift my mindset. I stopped trying to pack perfectly and started packing intentionally. We went fishing. We went to moose camp. If you don't know what that is, it's hunting. My daughters were just 22 months and 1 year old when we did that. And out there, I remembered what brings me to life. That shift is what Ridge Frost is built on. It's not about the gear. It's about how the right gear helps you get out faster and remember why it's worth it. Because childhood is short, but the memories don't have to be. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you.
The Ridge Frost Dry Bag, your ultimate companion for any adventure. With its innovative design featuring double-ended waterproof roll tops, this bag keeps your dry goods safe and secure while the insulated bottom end keeps your drinks chilled to perfection. Equipped with a convenient front zipper compartment for essentials like your phone and keys, it's your go-to for kayaking, beach days, boating, hiking, camping, and fishing. Built to withstand the elements, these durable dry bags will be by your side for years to come, providing unmatched waterproof protection for even the most rugged explorers. Get ready to conquer the outdoors with the Ridge Frost Dry Bag.
Our flagship product is the Ridge Frost Dry Bag, designed for families and built for gifting. We've since added a camping activity journal and a nature activity pack lead magnet to engage our digital audience and build our email list. Every product is multifunctional, family-centered, and rooted in simplicity. They all solve the same problem: how to get out the door faster and with more intention and purpose. What we're hearing from customers says everything. Two things keep showing up in the reviews. First, it's giftable. Customers are buying it for themselves and then coming back to gift it to friends and family. Second, it's more useful than expected. They're surprised by how often they reach for it and how much easier it makes their outings. They love the organization due to the multi-purpose design. That tells me we're solving a real problem and doing it in a way people want to share. Now that you know where we're coming from, let me show you where we're headed, because Ridge Frost isn't just about today's adventures. It's about building a future families can grow into. My vision is to build Ridge Frost into the go-to outdoor gear brand for families, something so essential you turn around if you forget it. There are 19 million moms in our target demo. Outdoor gear is a $21 billion US market. Dry bag searches alone hit up to 64,000 a month at its peak. Since launching at the end of the peak season last July, Ridge Frost has generated 16.9 thousand in direct sales and 25.4K in corporate gifting, including a 24,000 order just 6 weeks after launch. Telling us that we're giftable is proven and positioned to scale. With just 10K customers at $100 of a lifetime value, we have a path to a 7-figure exit. We're scaling in 3 core lanes: direct to customer via Amazon and Shopify, wholesale, beginning with local Alaska retailers to refine our pitch now, with a goal of reaching national accounts in 12 to 18 months, corporate gifting, which is already showing traction and repeatability, and my personal brand at Off-Grid Mommy serves as a powerful engine for lead generation, customer research, and ongoing community connection with over 71,000 of engaged followers. I'm not seeking capital today. What I'd love are introductions or insight on potential collaborators, retailers, and people within my niche or who know the wholesale and gifting world. Ridge Frost is more than gear. It's a promise to stretch the seconds, simplify the prep, and make space for what matters most. It's about giving parents more of the moments they'll never give back. Thank you.
Woo! Everyone give it up. All right. Man, everyone's going to clap while I get everyone pinned to the front screen here. Okay, I'm going to bring the sharks up so we can see the whole panel here. Okay, we got Andrea, we got Karen, we got Samantha, and Joshua. Oh, and myself here. Okay. There we go. All right, you guys. Way to go, Sammy. That was awesome seeing the whole thing you put together. Now, I want to hear just raw, candid feedback from the Sharks. If you're an investor, you're looking at this brand, you just heard this pitch. What are you seeing? What are you seeing that you could give wisdom to when it comes to Sammy and also the room? And it is a small room, so you don't have to raise your hand or anything. You just unmute and go for it.
I'll go first.
I'll go.
Oh.
Who's up?
Let's all argue. No, I'm just kidding.
Who's ready?
I'm
Okay.
ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm Andrea. Hey, Sammy, that was awesome. Can you please repeat your 3 needs at the end? You said strategic collaborations. What were the other 2?
Yeah, strategic collaborations, industry connections, and wholesale guidance.
Wholesale guidance. Okay. Okay. First of all, I just want to say your brand is spot on. And I'm really glad that you also have you as a brand as well. So you've got both of those things really going. I do see a couple of areas where you could potentially get some pretty easy traffic flow into there. But I just want to first commend you. Like, your identification of your customer was awesome. You only get 18 summers. Got me and got a couple of people in the chat. Like, that whole sentiment, awesome. One thing. Do you have any other commercials besides the one that's at the beach?
Not yet. No, I have, based on competitors, there was a lot of males like fishing and kayaking. So I was trying to do something more family friendly, but as budget allows, I plan to expand the video or maybe just some user generated content too. That might be helpful.
Awesome. Something really quick to get there would be a reel or short type format. But can we get a mom? Because all the things you just shared with us was so compelling. And then in the video, we have kind of a younger woman who looks like she doesn't have children. So I'd like to see, for me as a mom, like how this can make my life easier and help me get out the door. Specifically, that hook of getting out the door, that is so hard. It takes hours sometimes. So if you can really hit that in whatever shorts or commercials you choose to do, that would be one suggestion. I love that you have activity books, camping, nature, all of that. There are, when I was homeschooling, and this is a really good demographic as well that might be tapped into, but I bought a book about adventuring. It's called Adventuring Together. And I don't know if you have the desire to or the bandwidth to write and self-publish a book, but some of my biggest fans in my customer base are the people who have my book. Like there's one in the room right now. Establishing yourself as an authority in that adventure mom space. The fastest way to doing that, or the easiest, most guaranteed way almost, is to get a book self-published on Amazon that is for the moms who are trying to get out the door, and it doesn't have to be long or in depth. So I just had some ideas while I was listening. And as far as collaborations go, we hike all the time, me and my 6 kids. I would love to do a reel or two. I'm actually taking them to Mexico in 15 days by myself. So send me a bag and I will bring it with me to Mexico. I will take some B-roll and we will post it up for you, because I really, I've used a wet bag before in Thailand before I had kids. And I love that it has a cooler. Like that just sounds really like it would make, we go to the beach all the time. So I would be happy to be involved in strategic collaborations, because I really think your brand hits the people who I already serve. So well done. Bravo. I don't really have a lot of other feedback other than yay. And my biggest thing is growing my email list. Like that's the key to my success over the years. But also SEO and having a website that has a blog. I get free traffic from Google. 60% of my traffic is. So some things to look into. Everybody's all social, 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 but don't forget, we also have a search engine that we can optimize for. Okay, so I promise that's all. And I want to keep in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll jump in. First of all, thank you, Andrea. That was great feedback and some of what I had as well. So I won't repeat any of that. I think in as far as, first of all, your energy was fantastic. And look, I got to tell you guys, like we pitch investments all the time to people. That's what we do now. And your energy and your confidence is like 90% of the reason why someone's going to do something with you. So keeping the energy up and having that confidence in what you're presenting is like top notch. And you did a great job at that. The very first slide, I think it said, Ridge Frost brand story or brand vision on the very first slide. I would have liked to have seen that identify something about the product. So even if you were going to wait to say dry bag until later, it could have been like, you know, like a motto or a slogan, like, you know, the only thing you need to save time when you're, you know, trying to be with your family, right? You know, like, so I kind of wanted to see that right up at the front, because that's like your initial hook. What else? I think if I was investing, I would want to know who else sells this type of product, how many are being sold, what's the margin, and, you know, those kinds of things. So if you're actually looking for an investor to come in, not that you are, but if you are, you know, those are the kinds of, they would want to see some metrics on what the business is actually doing today. And then I'll just leave it with, since gifting seems to be so big of your sales are really in gifting and maybe even corporate sales, I would start looking at companies that, that's what, like, by the way, I actually just recently met a woman, her entire platform is meeting with companies during a hike and then having a mastermind on the hike. So her client base is like, 10 to 30 people on a hike. And I bet she would love to brand this for herself or co-brand it with each company that she's working with. So please reach out to me in regards to that, because I'd love to connect the two of you. But this, so REI and all those are great things, but there's so many individual like hiking clubs, even regionally or statewide, that I think you could really tap into as well.
Great. Thank you.
I'll go
All
next.
right. We got one more. We got time for one more fast one, and then we're gonna hop over to our next one. So Karen, let's hear it.
I'll do a quick one. Sammy, excellent job. I love your product. It looks super deluxe. I love how you really narrow down the identity of your target demographic. And I love the feedback from Andrea and Samantha, because yeah, I totally agree. As far as like my perspective, like I'm really into like conversion optimization. So yeah, I agree with what Andrea said. Like with your video, with your images, you really need to show a mom with kids and kind of show that problem and solution. Like, oh, before it takes, an hour, you have all these bags, you have sippy cups falling everywhere. Instead, show like the after, like before and after. And then here comes your product as kind of like, ah. So yeah, I think that will really help conversion a ton. And then also like in your video and images, make sure to like really hit on the giftability, like show another mom, like giving it as a gift to someone else to like really, again, just plant in people's mind, oh my gosh, this is such a great gift. And then lastly, I'll just say I have some connections. My brother and sister-in-law work for some MLM companies, and they do like corporate retreats and trips and stuff. So this would be like such a great idea, because they've actually given me stuff that they've made for their trips. And yeah, your bag is awesome. So love it.
Woo! All right, guys. That's it. All right, Sammy, thank you so much for being on. We got our next contestant coming up next. Let's see who we got here. Let me unpin that. All right, up next, we got Kirsten. Kirsten with Offshore Edit. Okay, Kirsten with Offshore Edit. And Tammy or Danielle, if you see her, my Zoom is all messed up now, but just see if you can pin her. Okay, Kirsten, if you talk, you'll come up to our front, and then we can pin you here.
Okay. It's saying when I share, it'll like unshare you. Is that okay?
Yes. Let me do that. Yeah, you should be good.
Okay. Just don't want to cut you off.
Awesome. Welcome, Kirsten. Here we go.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm Kirsten. I grew up in Connecticut and loved living so close to the beach. I had no concept of life beyond my sandcastle, but when I was 15, I had my first chance to really get offshore, and I spent the whole summer in Barcelona, Spain. Here's what I remember about that trip. The taste of lemon soda, navigating public transportation for the first time, laughing so hard I cried, new cultures, new rhythms. My mind was blown, but even more, my heart was awakened. And it was on that trip that a Voyager was born. Since then, I've gone on countless adventures. Each trip has drawn something out of me. It's like my confident alter ego. When I travel, I become a different person. She's organized, prepared, stylish, curated. She doesn't just pack a suitcase. She engineers an experience. But coming back from my most recent trip, the contrast hit me hard. I came home to a disaster zone, laundry piles, clutter, decision fatigue, overwhelm. Did you know the average person spends 55 minutes a day looking for something that they own but can't find? So as I was searching for the 2000th lost item, the contrast hit me hard. I just lost my notes. I'm so sorry. Can I reshare it?
So sorry about that. As I was searching again for the 2000th lost item, the contrast hit me hard. I needed to invite my travel persona home. She isn't just for trips, she's for life. That's when Offshore Edit was born. Offshore Edit isn't just a brand, it's a mindset. It's that lightness you feel when you're living out of a suitcase. Everything intentional, nothing extra. All your favorite essentials. A life that feels elevated and not overwhelmed. Offshore Edit brings that feeling home. And it's not just me. When I talk about this, woman after woman tells me, I need this. This is for me. Like, my house is so cluttery. They say, I'm like that. I'm always thinking life is just easier when I'm traveling. You see, women are craving simplicity, clarity, and honestly, they're craving an invitation. Less chaos, less clutter, less overwhelm. This invitation, though, comes apart at the seams when you look at the current market. It forces you to choose between style, function, and quality. For storage, you're looking at cheap fabric options that easily rip or unsustainable plastic that often breaks or shatters. And luggage is often bulky and hard to store. It eats up space when not in use. I literally had a friend tell me that she bought luggage with the mindset that she better like looking at it all the time because she doesn't have a place to store it. Let's talk about the opportunity. The home organization industry is worth 47 billion in the US alone, and travel gear over 1.2 trillion globally. But the real opportunity isn't just in the market size. It's in how fast it's changing. Millennials and Gen Z are living more minimally, and they're prioritizing quality and spending more on hybrid function products than ever before. They're not looking for more storage bins. They're looking for products that reflect who they're becoming. And there's a clear white space in this market, and we are here to own it. And we're starting strong. We've developed 2 market-ready products designed for high-demand platforms like Amazon. An underbed storage box, structured, durable, made of premium materials, and worthy of being seen. A versatile tote bag that functions as a yoga bag, gym bag, beach bag, pool bag, computer bag, and all-around go bag. These are Kickstarter products designed for traction, but built with a luxury mindset. And they lay the groundwork for what comes next. A flagship product that redefines what it means to travel and live with intention. And I think you're going to love it. And while we're still in pre-launch, we've done the hard foundational work. We've developed a brand identity with high-end product photography and a clear visual voice. And a lead magnet, email capture, and pre-sale workflow that's already live. And we're already seeing organic validation. Real people are connecting with the message and the design. This is the era of fewer but better things. We're not just meeting a market need, we're meeting a moment. And that moment sets the stage for our flagship product, a modular suitcase that detaches into 2 underbed storage units. It's beautiful, durable, and solves a real dual problem, maximizing space when you're traveling and when you're not. I am seeking $25,000 to prototype and test this hero product. Funds will go towards industrial design and engineering, prototyping and testing, packaging and pre-sale assets, and influencer seeding to generate buzz. I'd love to have a conversation with anyone interested in partnering or investing. Equity and revenue shares and terms can be discussed based on fit. But we're not just building for profitability, we're building for acquisition. Within 15 to 20 premium SKUs in the pipeline, strong margins and traction across both Amazon and direct channels, we're targeting 2 million in annual revenue within 3 to 4 years, positioning us for a 3 to 4 times valuation upon exit. At Offshore Edit, we're not just organizing stuff. We're giving women permission to live with more clarity, more calm, and more intention. Our customers aren't just folding sweaters or packing bags. They're reimagining how they live. We're not in the storage business. We're in the life change business. And this is just the beginning. Thank you so much for your time. If you want to activate your vacation persona and help others do the same, I'd love to talk more about how we can build Offshore Edit together.
Woo, nice. So good. Love it, Kirsten. Pull up the chat for Kirsten. So good. Okay, sharks. I want to hear it. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? You can unmute, throw something in.
Okay, how did the two pieces go together? Like what holds them together?
Yeah, so it basically has like a ridge and clamp so that on both sides, so it clips together in a groove. Yeah.
Are there any suitcases that do that right now? Like I've never seen that idea before. Like it comes apart.
Yeah, I have it. I'm going out on a limb here, trusting y'all with my
Yeah.
with my idea because I have not found one.
Yeah, you might want to actually look into what is that?
A patent.
Yeah, thank you. Like what's the
Yeah.
word?
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I
utility
mean that
kind. Yeah.
you may have developed and come up with something that's the patent could be more valuable than the product.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because somebody else, whatever, a suitcase manufacturer might want to do that and
Or license it. Yeah. Mhm.
license it. Yeah.
Totally.
And I do love it because I travel so much, I don't actually unpack all the way. So I leave stuff in my suitcase because it's going to be there the next time I go on a trip. So it'd be fantastic just to be able to store it easily. So I definitely like that. Oh, I know. I did have some feedback for you. You said talking about like having 15 to 20 SKUs later and an exit, etc. Just be careful. Sometimes more is not more.
Hmm.
So having multiple SKUs, you might want more than one or four, but 20 might not actually be the best thing for you either. So that's a nice thing to be able to say or look forward to. You always sort of want the bigger picture and options for somebody, but at the same time that can be confusing or difficult to manage from like a manufacturing standpoint.
Yeah. No, that's good feedback. Thank you.
Hey, Kristen, I'm Joshua. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you as well.
I've actually spent the last year and a half developing luggage. Our
Ah,
brand is we're a men's luxury brand, and we do all. I mean, I have 600 plus SKUs, wallets, travel bags, luggage, duffels, backpacks, you name it. If you carry it, if you travel with it, we sell it. Very familiar with the space. I've spent a year and a half. I just got back from China, actually, working. I will say that the luggage is by far, and we've developed watches, sunglasses. I could go on and on. The luggage is the hardest product I've ever developed, ever. There's so many details that go into that. So I have a couple questions for you. I want to see if I can help you, Kristen. So, first question I have is how far are you in the design production process?
I have been working back and forth with an industrial designer. We're still tinkering with drafts. So it's not prototyped yet. It's all in the design phase.
That's cool. And so what percentage are you done in that process, Kristen, roughly?
I would say like 75%.
Cool. Have you locked down your materials that you're going to be working with, custom molds, any of that stuff?
No, I have not done the custom molds yet. That's the next big hurdle.
I think 25,000 is probably the right amount looking for this. Have you made any connections with manufacturing in China yet? Or wherever you want to manufacture?
No, not significant ones. I have talked to a few different agents, which I thought might be a better route to go because I am expecting it to be, very tedious.
I think finding the right manufacturer will help kind of walk you through the process. Something I kind of lead with sometimes is like, hey, I am not new to brand, but I am new to this product. Can you please teach me? What do I not know about this product? And so a couple of things. I have some connections with manufacturers in China, but also with suppliers who like make custom parts. And so in this world, Kristen, there's some things you're gonna go up against. You're gonna make the decision of, hey, am I going to like use stock wheels or am I gonna open molds for my own wheels, right? And so like that goes from like a $0 cost to like a $10,000 cost. Am I gonna use a custom mold for a handle or am I gonna use a stock handle? And kind of backing into what Samantha had said earlier about the patents. A big thing that is when you start opening molds for custom parts for this product, it makes it very difficult to get copied and knocked off, especially on Amazon, because it gets very expensive. And getting those agreements in place with your manufacturers, making sure that they're only using your molds for your product. And so, Kristen, would love to connect with you and just see how I can help you logistically as far as like getting you connected with some suppliers that I've been working with and to kind of help you get on that path. And then, of course, as a resource, Kristen, any questions that you might have, I'm literally in the thick of this right now. My sample will be done, my fourth sample will be done in 3 weeks. One last thing I'll tell you as far as shipping goes, because it's so expensive, I would encourage you on the checked luggage and the carry-on luggage, you can actually ship one inside the other. Typically the MOQs on a product like that is roughly a container, which is about 575 checked bags, which is, if it's a 28-inch bag. So some things to keep in mind logistically when you get ready to ship that over, because shipping is so stinking expensive. So and then anything else, yeah, I'd love to connect with you after this. I'm not looking to do any investments at this time, but I think I can definitely help you on the connection side.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Connections are so valuable. And it's funny you brought up the wheels, because that is literally like the hardest part that we're doing revisions on over and over. So yeah.
For sure.
So good. And just for our Inner Circle members, we're taking note of anyone that says, I have a connection for you, and we will find a way to connect you guys afterwards. So yeah, that's awesome. Thanks,
Kristen,
Josh.
I have two things. I totally agree with everything Joshua said. He's going to be such a great resource for you manufacturing wise. I've been through ups and downs with that with China as well, and prototyping and patenting and everything. But the two things I really want to give you today is about crowdfunding and about social. So first of all, have you considered crowdfunding?
I have not at this point, no.
With Indiegogo, I have crowdfunded 4 products between $10,000 and $20,000. So I didn't need much to get my first run, because I had an audience and I asked them what they want. Like I definitely, so you've already validated and you've got a really unique product. I would absolutely get a patent started, so it's patent pending. I've been ripped off on Amazon where they even use my photographs, and I got it taken off, but like it's a hard process. So cover your butt early on. But crowdfunding, I've crowdfunded 2 board books and 2 potties, and that helped me cover the cost of the molds, because the molds, like he mentioned, are extremely expensive even in China. So I would look into that. I prefer Indiegogo. I found that it helped me reach more people than I could by myself. And they featured me at one point as well. Like it was really easy to raise the money. I think we did a really short 2-week crowdfund. So, okay. I didn't hear you. And then do you have an email sequence associated with your lead magnet?
Yes, I do.
Does it lead right into pitching a product?
Not right into it. It's I think 4 emails at this point, and the last one is the pre-sale.
Okay. I would look at your Instagram and look at optimizing that. The person I follow for that is Maria Wendt, Wendt. Her Instagram course is really good. Be careful, because she uses funnels and you'll buy everything. But I would optimize your bio and also have your link go directly to a product, or if you're doing a crowdfunding, directly to that. And I would have the words, and I would really focus on, I feel like you're going to have a lot of traction on, I don't know, what is your chosen platform?
Probably Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, pick one and grow it, and don't try to do anything else. Just pick one. And second of all, when you do it, learn how to do it and really do it, because she has helped me get over 100,000 where I was kind of stuck at 80,000 for a long time. And optimizing that so that you get sales directly from your link in bio is super important. We used to have a link tree. Now I have it go directly to a product. If you're going to go to your website, your web page, I would make it a lead magnet page. I wouldn't put the lead magnet at the bottom. So those are just a couple of little conversion optimization things that I have to share.
Thank you.
Great job. I love the idea. I think it's fantastic. And my under bed storage is tacky. So good. Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you
really
so
glad.
much.
Yeah, I think you could easily crowdfund this if you did a really cool video with the photography and the branding you have. I think it'd be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm muted, but all right. Way to go, Kirsten. Everyone give a round of applause. We're going to move over to our next participant. We got Risha in the house. Okay, I'm going to bring her up in just a second. But hey, if you are on this call and you're in our mastermind, or you're not in our mastermind, We actually have a gift for you after this next one, okay? So stay tuned. We have a gift for you, a short commercial break, but it's going to be awesome. And you will need your phone for this gift, okay? So if you don't have your phone with you, go get it. You're going to need it for this next gift, okay? So Risha, we got coming up next, Bold Island Provisions. Bold Island Provisions. Risha, go ahead and start talking, and then I'll find you and I can pin you, okay? So Risha, are you here?
I'm
All
in the
right, let me
house,
pin you.
Stephen.
All right, and let me stop the music, and then you should be able to start sharing once you hear the music stop.
Okay.
All right, what's up, Risha?
I'm sharing. Can you hear me?
We can hear you and we can see you and see the screen. Awesome, you're good to go.
Yay, everything's good to go. I love it. Thank you so much for having me, Stephen. So, this presentation is going to be very unlike anything you've seen so far. So, I think, is it Joshua? And with King's Loot on this, to me, there's a lot of divine interventions going on in this story. So who are we? Who is Bold Island Provisions? Well, this is a farm girl, born and raised in the outback of North Dakota, and went to school pre-med to be a doctor. God had a different plan for me, and it was an amazing plan. For a decade and a half, I, right out of college, went into food safety and regulatory and oversaw an extensive amount of food safety and regulatory systems for a major Fortune 500 company. And then from there, right ahead of COVID, actually popped into marketing and got to do some amazing marketing work on some really cool new product development projects. And that's where my heart is, right? Pivoted over into supply chain, into an executive role there, and now doing some other projects for the organization. My cohort, the love of my life, I would be remiss if I did not really share who he is, because he is just the brains of this operation. Kid raised in a supper club, math econ major, just brilliant mind, and he's my financial officer. Loves food and craft beer on the side. So, a quick story before we jump all in. Met in college and knew very quickly that we were the God had created us for each other. So we graduated and launched into southern Minnesota. God brought us into this dinky little town close to the Iowa border. And we got to town and we were looking for a church for our future family, and we could not find the church that in this area that really like filled our passion. But there was a whole group of people that had this just massive energy around a church plant. So we became a part of this amazing church plant, just a small group of people. And really, we're preparing the soil for our future family. It took us 12 years, but guess what? These guys came amazing. God blessed us with these two amazing gentlemen, and we just love them to the moon and back. In the meantime, our church is exploding and it's growing. 2023, we're sitting here and we're like, Lord, we're going to give you everything we got, everything that we can muster to give. And we want to give more, but how can we create a space where we could give more? All of a sudden, I'm served up an ad for the Rainmaker family. So we're pouring everything we have, into building this community, because the body is thriving. It's doing what it's intended to do. And we launched into Rainmakers in that process of time. So that's 2023. We're 2025, right? And God has just done some amazing things in that time frame. The church is exploding. We've opened the doors, and now we're in a spot and we need a little bit more, to build a space for the kids. They're piling in by the records, right? And here we are, our baby product, our first product launches. It's a little bit unconventional. It's a deluxe mead making kit, right? We follow everything that Stephen and Chelsea have, really laid out for us in terms of like looking at the magnet scores, what aligns with our competencies. Tim's a craft brewer. I know a little bit about, in the food space, and our kids are learning and growing along the way. And then the lady in the middle, that's my mom. And this is where the story starts getting real. She starts having some major health challenges. And we take a look at her diet and the things that are going into her body, and they're causing some things to happen that's not good, right? And the doctor ordered simple, basic food. You notice Bold Island Provisions at the bottom. It's real food, elevated flavor, no compromise. So here we are. We're in the space of this mead business, it's fermented, it's natural, it's made out of honey, water, and yeast. It's as basic as it comes. We get into the inner circle accelerator and we realize that we have a who in this business. And through the accelerator, we were originally Bold Island Brewing. We transform and we rebrand into Bold Island Provisions, and we are all about serving consumers who are passionate about getting back to their ancestral roots with foods and beverages that feel their bodies. And our problem that we're solving is real, unprocessed food from a trusted source. Our mission, real food, elevated flavors, no compromise. I've got my mom sitting in the wings here. She needs just the basic, foods unprocessed. So primal foods for legendary flavor. Today's landscape, we know that 62% of consumers favor foods with less ingredients, and the category is growing. This is a $650 billion category. There's rising distrust in processed foods, lack of transparency, and an increase in demand in these foods. So our brand story, we know that the best food isn't reinvented, it's rediscovered. So we're bringing back pure, time-honored foods that fill our body the way nature intended. Real food, elevated flavor, no compromise. Again, primal foods for legendary flavor. So our first product, as I mentioned, launched in September of 2024. It's on track to do $250,000 in sales this year. Margins looking healthy, and we're working with suppliers to make those even healthier. And this is what I'm even more excited about, is we're in the process right now of gaining USDA label approval. We've secured an incredible supplier that we'll be working with and taking grass-fed fat and making it into tallow. Simple one ingredient solution here. And additionally, we have some friends who are raising Wagyu cattle and have trimming that right now is just they're having to offload. So we're able to turn that into a beautiful, beautiful product. Right now, we're targeting Amazon and TikTok for those sales, as we know there's an opportunity space in both of those areas. As Stephen has taught us, the search volume and the magnet IQ on both of these items are invigorating. So we'll be planning on doing a nice launch in both of those spaces. So our brand vision, we want to become this trusted brand that delivers real food, rich and rooted in tradition and not stripped of its essence. We're on track, as I mentioned, to deliver $250,000 in our first year of operation, and we're projected to achieve a seven-figure revenue within our second year of operation, focusing on just those two tallow items. We want to continue to achieve this vision through the strategy of curating a healthy portfolio and curating a community as passionate to our mission as we are. So, Sharks, the ask of you today, and I do believe Tim is on the call, he's in the wings here, is just your insights on how to best grow and scale our business, connections to grow our business, and then just stay in contact. Well, we're not in need of funding to scale today. The future is bright for partnership, and we do believe that within the space there's opportunities to grow outside of the current offerings, and the beef tallow product does have a significant amount of runway. And that is all I have.
All right, way to go, Risha. So good. I'm excited for that beef tallow one to come out so I can subscribe and just send it to me every month. So that's awesome. All right, Sharks, what feedback do you have? What insight do you have? What wisdom can we share with Risha?
Risha, I love your brand and your products. They look awesome. Just a couple of questions. Do you have any cool bonuses? I think it'd be cool to have cool healthy recipes you can make with beef tallow. I think that would be a really cool digital product that you could add a ton of value. I know I would be interested because I've heard so good for you, it's a healthy fat, but I don't necessarily know how to use it. And then secondly, I know you're focusing on the food aspect of it. Would you ever consider also having a skincare aspect of it? Or I don't know, because I've seen that go really viral as well on TikTok, and I've loved using it for my skin. So would you ever consider that aspect as well?
It's within the consideration set I'll tell you right now, in terms of bandwidth, Stephen calls me the hustle mom, working 60 hours a week, sometimes more than that. I'm really focusing on just these core items, but as soon as I have more bandwidth to consider that, it's definitely within the consideration set.
I love that. I think that's so smart. And maybe even for right now, it's just something you could include in that digital product of just tons of uses for it. And that's one of them. And
Oh, I love that.
one little container
Woo!
and your skincare. Like, I think the more people can use it, the faster you're gonna use it. So they'll want to subscribe and use it more.
Yep.
So yeah, I love your branding, your product, your vision. I definitely want to be a customer. And yeah, any way I can help, I'm happy to. But great, great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great job. Love the branding. I have a few questions for you. It's Risha, correct? Am I saying that
It's
correct?
Risha. Yep.
Risha.
It looks like Russia, but it's Risha. Yep.
Risha. Risha, what sales channels are you currently selling on?
Right now, I am 100% Amazon with the Mead Kit. So Tallow will launch sometime mid-June.
And that's the product that's doing $250,000 a year, right?
The Mead Kit, yes. Honey wine.
Congrats. I actually see ads for those all the time. Any plans to kind of build direct to consumer?
Yes. In fact, I've been working through that with the help of this team here.
Awesome. Do you have an idea what your acquisition cost is for the Mead Kit, Risha?
You're just like cost of goods sold sort of thing.
Acquisition cost, the cost to acquire a customer. So
Oh,
Amazon.
oh.
Mhm.
Those have been relatively low because the competitive space and landscape is there aren't many competitors in that space. I don't have those metrics just yet, Joshua, but I can find those if you'd like.
Okay. I have a couple of recommendations there. I think Alicia had brought this up earlier, and there's like, you're gonna get, 10 different pieces of advice, Alicia,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all gonna be right. And they might conflict. And I'll just tell you my journey, in my journey, I've definitely had this happen more times than once. And so I want to share a couple things with you. No, number one is this advice I got from, oh my goodness, what is his name? You guys might know who he is. Stephen, he used to speak at the 100X conferences. He's the pastor who saw the
Jim?
miracle. Jim, Wealth of
Jim.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was having lunch with
Jim
Jim.
or James Baker is kind
James
of now
Baker. Jim
yeah.
Baker. Jim Baker. That's who it was. He said, it's funny. I remember this advice. I can't remember his name. Jim said to me, he said, Josh, be fruitful before you multiply. So I'm going to pass it on to you, Risha. Be fruitful before you multiply. When I was scaling up King's Loot in the early days, I quickly went into product expansion. It was the biggest mistake that I've made. Now today we have, I think I might have over 1,000 SKUs today, but it makes sense today. It did not make sense 4 years ago. And the way that I'm looking at building my business today is different than I was looking at, 5 years ago, where I look at product expansion, like TAM, as a business unit within my business. And so it's like, okay, in the wallets and belts industry, am I penetrating that market 1% D2C? Cool. Yes, I am. Now I can start to deploy the same marketing efforts into different categories. Like rings is a category we're launching into this year. Luggage is a category that we're launching into this year. And so then I start to look at, okay, how do I build a $100 million company with these different business units within my company? And I say all that to say this to you, Risha. Sounds like the Mead is your like, that's your hero product. And I would encourage you actually to build out a D2C model with that. And depending on, I don't know what the repeat purchases, I guess I would consider you as what we call a CPG brand, which if I was ever like not God led into this industry, I would have chosen CPG. That was not, CPG is like, it's consumable, meaning that customers are going to buy from you every month. Risha, here's the downside to a CPG brand. The downside is they're hard to scale. They take long. They're hard to scale, and you have to fight acquisition cost. The upside to a CPG brand is the MRR, monthly recurring revenue. And I'll tell you, Risha, you can get 5 to 10x multiple on a brand like that. So yeah, it's kind of hard to grow and scale, but the back end of a brand like that is far more valuable than a brand in the accessory space. And so I just want to tell you you're on a good path there, and I would encourage you to build that out, to know those numbers. What do you know? And of course, I'm big on Meta. I will spend $15 million in advertising this year. I love to just put it in there and let it rip. Amazon is a great way to capture demand, and Meta is a great way to push demand. Meta, Instagram. When I say Meta, I'm talking about Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. As far as acquisition goes, here's what we're seeing at a high level. AppLovin, and hopefully this is helping maybe anyone else who's hearing this. AppLovin is a new kid in the block that we're using for acquisition. If you ever played Candy Crush or any of those cool games on your phone, the brand is called the company is called AppLovin, and you can run ads on that platform. And we're currently pushing 10% of our spend on that platform. It's crushing for us, and that's new customers. So for acquisition for new customers, Meta's been good for us. AppLovin's good for us. Those are like the two. If you have a lower AOV product, TikTok and Snapchat are good, good for that. And then let's talk about capturing demand. Google and Amazon are beautiful for capturing demand. Why is there a need on Amazon? Why is there a search for meat on Amazon? My guess is there's a company out there who's running ads for that, and it's stirring up demand, and then you're capturing the demand. How cool would it be, Risha, if you were the trend setter, if you were the wave maker, and you were making the waves and capturing the demand? So I would encourage you to really build out the DTC focus of the meat side of your product, and then move into the expansion. I think the expandable products, by the way, are super cool. But you already have a viable business with what you have. Like, I would try to get that up over 7 figures before adding extra SKUs. I hope that helps you.
Yes, thank you very much. Lots to think about there.
So good. All right, let's go one more shark on this one. One more shark on this one.
So I just want to add on to what Joshua just said. Direct to consumer we don't do wholesale at Tiny Undies. We just do direct to consumer, and we do Amazon, but our margins aren't as good. And I will tell you, funnels, I know Steven tells all of y'all to make funnels, but when you get your Shopify store up and running, when you go into the 2 bottled products, the upsell naturally would be into a subscription or into more of the same, or into the complementary product. So you have a lot of variables there that you can play with and test for direct to consumer, but please do funnels in there. This is hard to do with Shopify, I found. Joshua, I don't know if you've had different experience, but one-click upsells, I think, is one of them. I am about to experiment with having Samcart do a pull-out side slide to add some funnels to my Shopify store. So once you get whatever the tech is pinned down, I would absolutely do that. The other
There's 2 I could drop on it out there.
Yeah, please do.
Replo pages is what we're using. It is all the cold traffic that we drive on our store it's a Replo page. It's a plug inside of Shopify. It's an app that we use.
Replo.
So yeah, we
how do you spell that?
REPLO.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, it's a plugin into your store. And then secondly, post purchase is after sale. Those are my 2 favorite in the tech stack.
Thanks. Tech's changing so fast. We are like, what is new, and does it actually even work? But bottom line is, when you focus and I actually totally agree with Joshua, before introducing something else, and I have the same problem. I am an entrepreneur, so I'm like, I want to do this other thing, I'm bored with this. I want to go on and let that roll. But as I've come back to my core products, my digital ones that don't have any overhead right now, I am finding that there's a lot of money left on the table. And so if you just stay focused on that, I totally agree with Joshua, get that one to 1 million. And then move on to adding the other stuff, which you probably could have it totally ready to go. But having your focus spread across different products in the very beginning makes it really hard to scale. So yeah, Joshua, I was taking notes on what you said too. I totally, completely agree, especially when we're dealing with physical products. There's a lot of tweaking and there's a lot of potential, but we also can get really distracted really fast.
No, this is incredible. Thank you so much.
Everybody give it up. That was awesome. Dang, I'm taking notes too, you guys. This is so powerful. Okay, I told you I have a gift for you. Let me go to the gallery view here so I can see everybody. You will need your phone for this gift, okay? So we have two more presentations. They're awesome. You don't want to miss these ones. They're going to be a lot of fun as well, but you're going to need your phone. So everyone grab your phone, okay? If you're watching on your phone, you can screenshot, right, by hitting the two buttons. But get your camera out, okay, and point it at the screen right now so I can see you guys. And you might as well take a picture to remember this moment. Rain Tank. This only happens twice a year in our community. So thanks for being here. Who you're hearing from is our Inner Circle Accelerator graduates. This is an 8-week basically speed run on if you're in our mastermind and you're looking for that next step. This is really like what we're talking about: funnels, building a funnel, getting a website, getting, a setup for off Amazon traffic, getting your brand really ready to increase the value of your brand, right? Bulletproof it a little bit, right? If all your eggs are in the Amazon basket, we love Amazon, but you guys know, like, it's a little bit moody sometimes, right? And so Inner Circle, the accelerator, and we have an all new, actually pre-Inner Circle accelerator program. So if you're in our mastermind, I'm going to share my screen, and I have a gift if you're not in our mastermind too. So if you're not in our mastermind, hang on for a second. But if you're in our mastermind and you're curious about Inner Circle, my gift is you can hop on with one of our success coaches and you can just see what we have cooking with the Inner Circle thing. They can show you the Inner Circle, the pre-Inner Circle accelerator, which is a brand new thing. They can take a look at your brand, see where you're at, and see if it's a good fit. So here's the link. It's rainmakerlinks.com/level up. And if with your phone, you can just scan this code. It'll pop up, click the link, and you'll see two buttons on there. One says I'm in the mastermind, one says I'm not. Okay, so if you're not in the mastermind, I have a gift for you as well. Our Rainmaker Mastermind is about helping you win again, right? A lot of people, who come to our mastermind, they have experienced winning in their past, right? They were climbing the corporate ladder, they were, getting the achievements, they were the high performing athletes, and then they became mom, right? And mom is a big win. It's a huge win, but we have all this untapped potential as parents inside of us. And the mastermind is about helping you win in business and life, like having something for yourself and not having to choose between one or the other, and doing it in a way that is loving your family in the process. And so if you're curious about the mastermind, which is more like start the brand, then also you can scan this code. There is a free case study. It's a brand new case study. It just came out a couple weeks ago. And it's Chelsea kind of talking through our Rainmaker method. And you can scan that link. You can get the free case study. So if you're not in our mastermind, just click the I'm not the mastermind button on that page. If you're in the mastermind and you want to scale your brand, you want to start setting your brand up for an acquisition, you should check out the Inner Circle. So there's the gift, you guys, are just quick commercial. Okay. And with that, we're going to go to our next Rainmaker guest here. Okay, let's see. Can you guys hear the music? Okay. All right, so up next on the Rain Tank, I just ran out of the song here. We have, let me just see my notes. All right, this is a fun one, you guys. This is a fun one. We got Heather. Okay, Heather Goff, come on up to the stage here. Let me stop sharing my screen. Everyone got that code? I'll drop it in the chat as well after this. Heather Goff, her brand is called Plopples. Ploppals? Am I saying that right?
Plopples. Yep.
Plopples. Okay. And you guys are in for
Plopples.
a true treat on this one. It is such a fun brand. And so, Heather, I'm not going to tell them what your brand is. I need you to tell them what the brand is. So feel free to try sharing your screen, make sure that works. And then we will hop right in.
Great. Can you see my screen?
We got you.
Great. Okay. Yay. Here I go. Good morning. I'm Heather Goff, the founder of Plopples, and I'm truly honored to be able to present my brand to you today. Have you ever had someone you care about who's struggling and you just didn't know how to show them you were there? You didn't want to fix it. You didn't want to overtalk it. You just wanted to say, I get it. It happens. I see you. I care. I'm here. Or maybe you've been stuck on the other side, in the middle of your own mess, feeling like your circumstances are starting to define your worth. That's exactly why I created Plopples. It's a line of poop-shaped plush toys that uplift through laughter. Because at Plopples, we know that shit happens, and we're not here to fix it or hide it. We're here to remind people you are not your mess. You've got this. You are lovable, worthy, and never alone. So allow me to introduce our current products. Our first official launch was the Popples Crochet Small and Sassy line, which dropped at the end of December. This is our PG-13 collection made for grown-ups who know that life gets messy, but connection doesn't need to be sanitized. They say things like, I give a shit about you. Holy shit, I think you're wonderful, with the halo and wings. Like, you just aced your exam. Holy shit, I think you're wonderful. You've always been such a good friend to me. Holy shit, I think you're wonderful. Oh my God, you got out of bed this morning. Holy shit, I think you're wonderful. Like, or feeling shitty. If poop can grow flowers, you can do everything, anything. Because, if you can laugh at the shit, it won't bury you. It might even become the compost for something beautiful. Our Comfort Cozy line is the G-rated cousin of our Small and Sassy collection, created especially for kids because kids have crappy days too, and sometimes they're made to feel as small and worthless as poop. So these crochet pals are soft, they're comforting, and they have affirmations designed to support little ones who are navigating big feelings and remind them that they are never the mess. They are always the miracle. The pocket plopples are small giftable companions for everyday encouragement because when you give a plopple, you're literally giving shit, right? And that shows people, that's how people know you care. And the little pop board book and character is an original story teaching emotional resilience through a lovable little poop. So this duo is for younger kids, and we have more ideas for books and characters on the way. And finally, we have our first digital product, which is the official Shitstorm Survival Kit. Excuse my language, but this is a free printable kit that includes survival cubes in different flavors like work, dumpster fire, heartbreak and relationship, life chaos, health, parenting, and caregiving. And it contains coloring pages and a party planner to help turn emotional chaos into the laughter, creativity, and connection. So whether used solo or shared with friends, it's designed to make coping feel a little less lonely. These aren't gag gifts. They're emotional support disguised as humor. Recently, this mission really hit home with me. My dad, an artist, and a man from a generation that doesn't talk about or demonstrate emotions, had a fall that left his hands paralyzed. I didn't know how to comfort him. I didn't know what to say to let him know that I saw what he was going through and that I loved him. And then I saw the golden sample of my pocket flop on a shelf, the little poop that says, I care. And I gave it to him and he laughed and he kept it right next to his armchair during recovery. That toy helped me feel less helpless. It helped me connect with my dad by saying, I see what you're going through. I love you and I'm here for you. And that is the heart behind Plopples. We have a big vision. I have a big vision. Plopples is more than the physical product. It's a movement of emotional honesty and self-worth. So we have our toy lines and our board books, but we're building towards like coloring books, affirmative games, and school kits. I'm really excited about this. Eventually, a YouTube Kids channel with animation, music, and kindness. Think Sesame Street meets Squishmallows, but rooted in emotional support. Partnerships with hospitals, therapists, and educators, community events, and B2B. And at the center of it all, humor as healing, and every plopple affirming, you are not your mess, you matter. So we've launched our first products on Amazon, Etsy, and Shopify. We're setting up our TikTok shop, creating influencer outreach strategies, and growing our content community. We're not waiting for perfection. We're building this step by step. We're learning fast. We're learning a lot and staying close to our audience. Our average margins on the small and less sassy line is strong. It's around 63 to 67%, which gives us room to grow DTC and wholesale. It's going to get better because we're learning as we go and there's room for improvement. Our small and sassy crochet plushies, they cost about $3 to produce, 9 for the set of 3, and they retail for 9 to 27. And the market we're in is a $3.4 billion plush toy market, a $9.6 billion personalized gifting market, a $13.6 billion educational toy market, and YouTube Kids ad revenues exceed $950 million a year. So Plopples lives at the intersection of gifting, wellness, education, and media. And like Beanie Babies, we're building something collectible, but with purpose. So I'm here because I believe Plopples is more than a toy. It's the heart behind the toy. And we're building something joyful and healing. And we want to build it smart and with guidance and intention. So I would love your insights today. I'd like to know what you would do if you were in my shoes right now. Thank you for seeing what we're building and for giving a plop.
We love you, little
Woo!
plop, and nothing you could do would make us love you less, 'cause you are perfect, you little plop. Feeling poopy, little plop. Please
Andrew, you
don't
thought
be
we'd get through this
bummed.
presentation without talking about poop, you know, but you were wrong. If Andrew was going to talk about poop, we have Heather. So thank you, Heather. That was awesome. And yeah, I'm so excited to get this for our boys. They love to talk about poop every day. So this is going to be a fun one. So Sharks, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling? What are you seeing? Let's share some wisdom with Heather.
That was amazing. Actually, I was like kind of laughing the whole time. And at the same time, I was like, people, I mean, I know adults who could use this, right? So I love the fact that it's for children, but I mean, I really think even at the price point, this could easily be into sort of the mid 20s category easily. And I could see myself buying it for friends at my age. So, I think one of the things I thought you might want to add was maybe some statistics on depression into that. Especially kids are really suffering a lot, and there are things that are, social media is probably more detrimental than we all know, and so ways to stay connected. I love the story with your dad and that he kept it with him. I think when people are depressed, it's like really important that daily they're getting some kind of affirmation and having a piece of shit to carry with you that says you got this, girl, or I really think that that's great. Your slide where you said we like to remind people and then add a bunch of stuff on that slide that you showed, that could be a card that goes in with the actual item, maybe depending on the size of the item, but I thought that said it all. So it could just be a side card that's separate from the actual piece. That's maybe
we create our boxes so they actually are their cards in themselves. So the boxes have like to and from on the back. They have affirmations on the inside. Like
nice.
You are seen, you are worthy, you are loved, and then there's other. So we're with the whole. It's more important than the toy is the message that's coming with the toy. The toy is just a vehicle for it. So we're trying to wrap everything. Have the whole thing be like,
It's, I have to say just the whole product line is so intentionally put together. It's very impressive. But I could see it just going all kinds of different directions and definitely having an amazing online community that could go to any of those things. It could be with different subject matters. It could be different age ranges, etc. So bravo on that. And certainly from an investment standpoint, knowing the margins and your current sales to date and things like that could be added into that, but really amazing. And I love it. I'm a customer for sure.
Thank you.
Heather, I loved it too. That was so well done. Such a clever way to talk about it. And yeah, I loved it. I would definitely be a customer. I was thinking like a couple other cool angles. Maybe you and Andrea could work on this. Like one, like a little bit bigger of a toy, and maybe like as kids are being potty trained, they can like hold it, and like there's something about the law of attraction and like visualizing the poop coming out, and like it's kind of fun and maybe makes it easier for kids.
Yeah.
And then also like another angle, I don't know if it could work as it is now, or maybe like, I don't know, something like a decorative, like you put it on your toilet for like your guest bathroom, and so people like love it. And it's kind of a fun conversation piece when people use their guest bathroom and they're like, oh, that's so funny. I don't know. So I feel like there's a lot of different avenues you could really market this, and a lot of different kinds of customers, but great job. Big fan.
Thank you.
All right. I'm giddy. I'm so giddy. This is so I love it. Oh my gosh. Your humor is just so good. You have such a strong brand, and I know I hope you know that. You are gonna be unstoppable because you have that. I'll just lead with this, like potty training encouragement is definitely needed. The average age is 3. Average, that's the middle point. Huge market there. And with a YouTube children's channel, like when I'm doing YouTube research, my channel's only got like 50,000 subscribers, but the ones that have blown up, like the potty training videos, are huge. You could make a ton of residual income just from that. But I would love to collaborate. We do an International Go Diaper Free Week every year, but I'm thinking we need to have a National Potty Training Week or an International Potty Training Week, and like feature something with this. I have a potty companion and a board book on potty training, but we don't feature poop, and I think it'd be great. I have a bazillion ideas. So find me at Go Diaper Free, and let's try to figure out a collab. Even with what you currently have coming out this summer with your children's line, I want to be in on that. One thing about your website, I want you to add something like, I use Proof Source. It's like the little pop-up of social proof that somebody is buying right now. Makes it feel like there's a lot of people buying right now. I want you to put that up there, even if you don't have a lot of direct-to-consumer sales right now. Proof Source is the cheapest one. There's also one other one that's like super expensive. I don't recommend. I would also do a pop-up, an opt-in, either a coupon just to collect leads. I know you have your digital, which is so freaking adorable. But I also, my experience with having a digital website and a physical product website, on the physical one, and I've experimented with both, having a coupon code for your first order is a really great lead magnet. And then you can follow up with them forever. And I think that's all I have. Like, you have got it going on. Little Plop, I want to read this to all 6 of my kids today. So are all those, the Little Plop book is already on Amazon, and the adults line, is that true?
No, the adult one is on Amazon. The Little Plop board book and character come out this, probably, they're almost ready to ship. So I've got yeah.
Oh my gosh, let's I have other mom influencer friends too. Like, we could do a little collab on your summer launch. I don't do those very often because I only work 3 hours a day, but I feel like this is special because the kids I see, like, we start at birth, so they don't need as much encouragement, but about half my customers are potty training, and they've like kind of missed the window, and their kids and their parents need a lot of encouragement. I would even see a poop plop for the parent. Like, I'm potty training, I'm going through hell. Could you please encourage me? Maybe it could be like a package of a couple plops, a little plop for you, a big one for
little
me.
Plop and the parent plop.
Yeah, for sure. But my
Because they put up with a lot of crap, right?
Yeah, exactly. My board books are not a very high margin, and they never will be, but they are a great lead magnet. So on the back of my board books, it's the potty training process, and I've got a daytime and a nighttime one. The back of it goes to my websites where they can spend more money. So I get a lot of customers through having this kind of break-even board book. Amazon eats up most of the profit on there. So yay. And then funnels on your direct-to-consumer, 100% do it. Oh my gosh, this is so great. I love your brand. I'm going to be a huge fan, and I want to stay in touch. So please reach out to us like today.
Okay. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Awesome. All right. Congrats, Heather. There's my timer going off. That was awesome. So good. Yeah, I know. We were making this joke. We were just in person at Seller Summit last week. And, sometimes we get a little hate at the Rainmaker family. Oh, do you just help people make Chinese crap? And I'm like, well, actually, let me tell you about Heather. So way to go, Heather. That was so awesome. We got one more. Okay, we got one more, an awesome one for you. And let me see if I can bring Cappy up to the stage. Cappy's in a place where her internet is not the best, so we have this pre-recorded for you guys. I'm going to play it. But Cappy, come say hi real quick. I'll pin you so we can get you
Hi, everyone.
in here.
Can you
Keep
hear me?
talking so I can find you. Where is
I'm
she?
here somewhere. Hide and
Oh,
seek.
there you go. I got you. Okay, now you're pinned. Okay.
Okay.
This is Kathy. She's awesome. She's been on our podcast as well. And I'm going to play her presentation for you guys. Okay. So just give me a second and then she'll be on for questions after. All right, here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Let me know in the chat if you can hear this.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cappy Fullerton, and welcome to Homemakers Harmony. Navigating the many paths of motherhood is such a difficult task. We constantly find ourselves stuck between having to choose what we know is best, what our time and budget thinks is best, and what our unsolicited family, friends, and internet trolls thinks is best. As moms, we've probably all have found ourselves standing in our kitchen, staring at a food label, wondering, is this really the best that I can do? We put so much pressure on ourselves because we want to feed our families well, keep things organized, and cut back on processed packaged foods, but the days are busy, and the overwhelm is real. We scroll past beautifully curated meals and clean kitchens online, but real life is half-eaten toast, backpacks scattered in the hall, and homemade dinner plans that fall apart by 4 p.m. This is the back and forth that so many moms are quietly carrying. And I know it deeply because I've lived it for the past 8 years. In 2023, I was a housewife and mom to 3 littles when I fell into the amazing world of sourdough bread. As a classically trained pastry chef, I thought, this is going to be easy. But 3 dead sourdough starters later, I realized maybe this journey isn't for me. But I had already fallen in love with the idea that I could swap out one household staple to be homemade, getting rid of at least one source of toxins and preservatives. And I wanted that so badly, but I felt like such a failure. It was in that low point that I gave myself permission to do the next best thing, which was make homemade bread with instant yeast. I challenged myself to bake one new bread recipe a week for the entire year of 2024, all without sourdough. And that personal challenge turned into a lifestyle. And that lifestyle turned into my brand. A brand that stands for progress over perfection. We bridge the gap between overwhelmed moms and confident homemakers without the pressure to be perfect at every turn. We do this by offering simple, realistic tools that make the journey more manageable, like our non-sourdough bread mastery guide that is full of beginner-friendly recipes, troubleshooting tips, and helps remove the overwhelm of complicated bread baking. Our organic linen bread bags, they just make fresh bread storage feel effortless. They're easy to clean by wiping down the liner that's inside, or you can throw the whole bag in the wash when the outside needs a clean too. And when it's not being used, just fold it and put it in your towel drawer until your next loaf is ready. Everything that we create is designed with one goal in mind: to walk alongside moms as they move towards a less toxic, more self-sufficient home life at their own pace, in their own way. This is the heartbeat of Homemakers Harmony. Real tools, real encouragement, and a whole lot of grace for the journey. A journey that I quickly discovered isn't being walked solely by me and my sourdough failures. I started sharing my weekly recipes on Instagram and gained a following of 38,000 and grew my email list to nearly 3,000 active subscribers. With these numbers growing every day, I've cultivated a solid workflow for eager audience members, and I am launching those workflows into other social channels this year so that we can continue to grow our community. As our community continues to grow, so do my plans for the future. Our current Amazon product, the bread bags, have produced nearly $250,000 in its first 12 months, even with going out of stock 3 times. With our inventory now leveling out, we project the next 12 months to produce a little over $540,000 on that product alone. We are also in the product research phase for our second physical product. The numbers so far have drawn me toward the homemade butter realm, which is also a hot topic in the homemaking community right now. With the goal of getting to 500 units sold a month consistently, we project to do about $90,000 once we launch later this year. And alongside that, we're building our digital products as well. We plan to launch 4 digital products this year with an accompanying upsell and OTO with an average cart value of about $35. That's another $26,000 in scalable, low overhead revenue. Together, this gives us a realistic strategic growth projection of over $650,000 over the next 12 months, while continuing to serve the same mission and audience that we've already built deep trust with. While these numbers seemed impossible to me at first, I now know that that number and the growing numbers in the years to come is going to be what builds a better life for me and my family. This isn't just a dream for me anymore. It is my reality. A reality that is going to allow us to buy that piece of land in the quiet countryside that we've been dreaming of, so that we can build our dream homestead that my family will be able to enjoy for generations to come. As I wrap up today, I want to share what I'm truly looking for. I'm not here asking for funding today. I'm here for strategic insight and wisdom from people who have built something meaningful, and that has so much more value to me than any check. I am passionate about community building through cross-pollination. I've been a guest on a handful of podcasts, including the Rainmakers, and I absolutely love connecting with new communities, not just homemakers, but entrepreneurs, dreamers, and doers. I find value in showing up, serving well, and letting the right people find me through authentic conversation. And finally, I dream of collaborating with brands and leaders who embody wholesome living and family-first business. People like Joanna Gaines or Hannah Nealman from Ballerina Farm, and other leaders who lead with integrity and impact. So whether it's a referral, a connection, or simply poking holes in my plan so that I can launch stronger, I would love to hear it. I welcome the insight, and I'm eager to keep learning. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as I did.
All right. Woo! So good. Cappy, that's awesome. I'm curious, Joshua Stevens. Okay. You see that average cart value on the digital product? What do you think about that? If you were to run meta ads, average cart value of 35, was it $35 on a digital product?
Well, that's a great question. Because I run ads to physical products. On the digital side, Stephen, I actually don't know. I mean, that'd be like probably more actually in your lane, but I can speak to AOV on acquisition if that's what you want to kind of speak into.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, imagine a $35 average cart value, and then you had no physical product cost.
Oh yeah, so that's nice.
We just keep trying to sell Joshua over to the digital side every once in a while, you know?
Get the because it reduces the break-even ROAS, which is really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you got it. You got thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've never explored that. On the acquisition side, I will say this from an acquisition perspective. Cost to acquire a customer just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And so when you're looking at going direct to consumer, you cannot do that with 40% margins. You really need 70 to 90% margins to scale an acquisition, 70 to 90%. And so this is kind of the competing metric of Amazon because I also have an Amazon store, right? So Kingsley's Amazon store was built by a Rainmaker. And I think that store has done over 8 figures. And that store, Amazon only does like 15% of my revenue. So it's a small piece of our revenue, but it's a much needed piece. I will say this on the acquisition piece. And so when we tend to think about Amazon products and stores, we tend to like jump into like we want to compete by price. And I kind of lean in the other direction of like how do I go more premium? How can I stack the offer? How can I make it better? How can I do what no one else is doing? Because when you start to if you launch an Amazon brand and you're competing by price, and then you try to take that to D2C, you kind of already pigeonholed yourself into like a price conscious category, and it becomes very difficult to run ads to that product. And so when you're looking at acquisition, I would encourage you guys 70 to 90% margins, 100%, and then kind of speaking into can you share your last two screens for me? You had your last
Let me see here.
presentation.
Was it let me see, because I was sharing my screen. Let's see. Is it this or
branding is so yeah.
this one?
Love it. Yeah, this one. Okay, so first of all, branding's chef's kiss. Good job, Kathy. This is great. And is it Cappy? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Cappy, yeah, like a baseball cap.
I love it, Cappy. Second, we got all the CPG brands coming out at Rainmakers. You ladies are in the right direction. I will keep down this path. I love the butter. You'd mentioned this is growing. I'm curious right now. Your current revenue, Cappy, right now in your current hero product. What does that look like? And are you majorly on Amazon?
Yeah, so my current product is the bread bags, and I've been selling them for 1 full year now, and I made nearly $250,000 in sales, and it was only from Amazon. And the reason for that was because my inventory levels. I went out of stock 3 times, and I, doubled the inventory each round. And so I wasn't pushing a whole lot of sales anywhere else just because I needed to keep all that I had pretty much on Amazon. But now that it's leveling out, I do plan to do more direct to consumer through Shopify and our Rainflow system.
Have you messed around with the digital product? Like, are you already selling with this digitally?
I am selling one digital product currently. It's only like a $5. I just wanted to try it with my email list. It was the guide. It was very simple, only had a couple recipes. But that year of bread one, I plan to launch actually next month. And that one is going to be like the more in-depth, all 52 recipes that I did last year. And then my guide is now going to turn into a free lead magnet. So that low price, that one's just going to go away. It's going to be free. And then all of the information that I really want to sell is going to be in the digital realm. So yes, I am in the digital realm lightly.
That's really cool. All right, a couple of things. The bread bags. What's cost of goods sold on a bread bag?
Cost of goods sold, so it's a 2-pack. They're extra large, but they're really small and compact. They cost about $4 to make, and I sell them for $36.99. Or sorry, not 30, 20. Sorry, $26.99 is what I sell them for on Amazon.
So it's like basically $20 a bag.
Yeah. No.
She said it's 2-pack. Oh, it's 10 a bag. It's not 40, it's 20. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
and your current acquisition costs on Amazon, Cappy?
I don't know that number right off the top of my head, but I am making profit. My ACOS are down. That's all I can
that's
give you.
good. ACOS is down, ROAS is up. We're cooking. Let's roll. Yes. Love it. What I like about this is I actually am getting a lot of ideas. I'm sure Steven's one of the best marketers I know, so I'm sure he is. Like, his wheels are turning. And the offer side of this, with the creative, with the digital products, the bread, the butter, I'd almost figure out how you could do like a free bag, not one of your nice bags that you sell, but like, I imagine like if I bought a bread making kit or something like that, where I could there's one piece, and then I go into the marketing side where it's like, this is trendy right now, and it's like, hey, this is Cappy, watch me make bread in 30 seconds, and it's like, boom, cut. Like those ads would be fire for you.
Those are the exact videos, the reels that I post on Amazon, and I share all the recipes, and that's how I get all my email lists going.
That's awesome. And your email, what is your current email revenue for the business?
Email revenue? Sorry.
Yeah.
Like how many sales I've gotten from emails?
Yeah.
That I don't know exactly because, again, everything was going to Amazon, so I couldn't really differentiate who was going. But when I
Gotcha.
did launch and when I've relaunched from restocking and stuff, I've always sent out the emails to let everybody know, like, hey, they're back. Come get some.
This is super cool. You using Klaviyo?
For emails?
Yeah.
I was using Shopify, but now I'm moving everything over to our Rainflow system. So actually my email collecting is down right now. And I saw Andrea, she commented on my lead magnet and all that stuff, and it probably didn't work for her. So I apologize. But I'm moving everything over. I'm, cutting out some systems and just staying with one Rainflow system for us. So I'm in the middle.
Love that. Really good. I don't have a lot of experience in this space. I'm not sure how I can help on the product side. From the marketing side, it sounds like you got the content wise, you're doing this correctly. The digital product on acquisition is genius. I guess my last piece of advice here, just to make sure you could try to get the AOV up to 70, 80, $90 on acquisition. Okay. I think you'll be doing great.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Joshua.
You bet.
That's what I was wondering with that new product. Could there be some sort of bundle? Maybe you go digital product, right? That brings people in with the funnel. They raise their hand. I want the digital product. And then the upsell is the bundle. And then you have, was it 27 plus 30? There's your kind of higher margin, or sorry, higher average order value, which will help self-liquidate if you're running ads.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. Cause I have the bread book that has all the recipes, but then my digital upsell was going to be a how to make butter
cool
guide. And then I was hoping to somehow get the bread bags and the butter, whatever product as the kit for like the one-time offer, but I need to figure out how to do that funnel wise.
I have an idea on that. No, we have a physical and digital funnel combo, and it's been pretty hard to figure out over the time, but I've got it now. My book is on the front page, and I would say I would probably price yours a little bit higher, like 17. And then the bump is just something that's going to help supplement that. I wouldn't cross over bread and butter. I would do 2 separate funnels, and I would do the 17 whatever and the 17 whatever, both recipe books. So you have 2 clear paths. The next upsell, I usually do like a more expensive course kind of thing, and you don't really have courses. But if you did someday and you want to do a course bundle, you could put that next and make it like 97. The next one on mine is the bundle of physical stuff, like the starter kit, what they need. And for you, you could bundle a bunch of bags, like how many loaves of bread are you going to make in a week? This is what you need. And then, I don't know that I would really cross over the funnels unless you see them as inseparable, because it might feel overwhelming for people like, oh God, now I have to make butter too. Like I don't know if I can even make the bread yet. So, but then that also allows you to build lifetime value too through your email marketing. I have a comment on your social. Your videos are exactly what Joshua was suggesting. They look great. I don't know, is your last post St. Patrick's Day? Was that the last time?
Yeah, I was trying to pump the brakes while I made things switched over, because I'm still getting a lot of activity, and I don't want to let people down.
For sure. I couldn't get into your website either just now, and I couldn't get into another person's website just now either. I got 404s for both of them. But what I was going to say is I would definitely swap out your logo to your face. I love the pinned wait, you had a pinned something. There was something with your face that I had just seen. You truly are the brand. So I would just put yourself out there and put one of those really cool pictures of you in the kitchen that shows your personality as your logo, because people trust that better. You're already at 90,000. I think that being consistent, I would post every single day. But here's the thing. Like, I know when you turn it back on, you probably will and have, but you were kind of like a little bit, not every single day. One story every day that has a call to action of a reply that you can use ManyChat like you do and get people. And then in your content itself, you can repost stuff you've already posted. Do you do that?
Yeah, I do, with like my 5 like really popular recipes, like the chocolate chip one, the bread rolls. Yeah, I do that a lot.
I would choose even more than that, because if you're showing Instagram that you're posting once or twice a day, and some people would say 4 times a day, 80% of that can be reposts and 20% can be new. So yeah, I think you're doing great. I would definitely use your face, do the daily consistency once you get the structure back in place. And in your bio, I would cut it down even further. And your name of, and this stuff is really important, you guys, like, people click and see, who is this person? Homestead Habit Suburb Living for Now. I don't know that that's really who you are. From what I've heard, you are, I quit sourdough and what did you say? Progress over perfection. Like I am. So I would put your name and I would put that you're teaching, like, this is what you're teaching now. This is your thing. So name yourself. What are you? Like, I'm elimination communication expert, Andrea Olson / that. And so that really will matter to make that shift. And even if you wanted to switch from community, but I think that's a nice vibe. And then as far as not knowing your numbers, like I am 14 years into this and I've done 7 figures for like 5 years in a row now. I don't know my numbers. I'm the visionary. So it's okay, all of you, if you're just like, I don't know my acquisition cost. I don't even run ads, you guys. I'm all organic. So I'm like, yeah, I could be running ads and yeah, I'm leaving money on the table, but it also stresses me out. So like, y'all do you, whatever works for you. My special thing is organic. So I just need to do more of it. So every day I'm like, how can I get more traffic? And I love doing that. So I would just say, like, if you don't know what your numbers are, I went by the seat of my pants. I didn't even know I hit 1 million, Stephen, until I met the guys in Russell's thing. Like I came out from under my rock and I was like, let me look at my numbers. Oh my God. So I mean, I would say you will eventually get others on your team that do that for you. But for now, like, yeah, this is great. And look at your website. I think something's broken there, but your content, just more you and more posting. And I think you're going to have an organic onslaught. Those funnels, digital to physical, DM me if you want some tips on that, because it can get a little tricky depending on the tool you're using. But yay, good job.
Thank you so much, India. I really appreciate it.
So good. Yeah, I feel like Cappy, I called you Sammy. Cappy, I feel like you could throw rocks at the sourdough thing just a little harder, you know? Like, I just think there's like a funny angle there where it's just like, I'm a recovering sourdough something, you know? And like, I think there's just a lot of, you know, moms especially who will relate with that, being like if you just like lean into the pain of like the sourdough being like this chore and I got to babysit it and oh no, like, you know, I can barely remember to let the dog out and now the sourdough's dead, you know, like I think there could be like some funny thing there that's like relatable and you're kind of throwing rocks at it, but then you have like this desire to be healthy and all these things. And then you found this. It's almost like this aha moment of like the struggle. It's not like, it's like third world or first world problems, right? Like my sourdough died, you know, but I think you could like make it funny in the story. And then it kind of leaves this aha. And I think moms will see themselves in that, like, oh my gosh, yes, I tried the sourdough thing in 2020 as well. And like, you know, I still have all the supplies just collecting dust, you know? So I think there's something there that you can really just catch attention with and then take them into your new world, you know? So, yeah. All right. Any other piece of feedback, wisdom for Cappy before we wrap this one, Karen? You got one?
Yeah, just a quick question. First of all, great job, Cappy. I'm so impressed. And I agree with Andrea. You are totally such a good face of your brand. Are you already like doing affiliate links for different products that go with your core products? Because I feel like that would be awesome to add into your digital products. Because go ahead and I'll let you talk first.
No, sorry. I am not like doing affiliates on my side from my Instagram, but I have linked up with a lot of other people to affiliate for my product. Nice. But they were all sourdough, which is great. And that's also another reason why I do kind of throw rocks at sourdough, but I don't want to go too hard because they're still a very big customer for me in that sense. But you're right. I should lean into the pain point more because a lot of people do have felt this.
I just feel like you have such awesome products, but like if I were your customer, I'd be like, okay, I also need the bowl. I need what kind of flour? Like, I just feel like in one of your guides, you could, you know, be an Amazon affiliate for those different products. And then it's just another way to monetize all the traffic you're sending to your digital products. And then, you know, you get the recurring, or if people keep using Amazon, you'll get that Amazon affiliate commission. So yeah, just something to think about in your guides.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. So good, you guys. That is it. We just concluded all the contestants. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Huge thank you to our sharks, Samantha, Karen, Andrea, Joshua, just tons of wisdom. Any parting words just for the budding entrepreneurs? You know, they're just starting, maybe thinking about starting, maybe just crossing six figures on the way to seven. Like, what would you say if you could go back to yourself? You know, I know that's a hard question. It's just a spring on you guys, but just to end this thing, maybe we go around the room, just one nugget of wisdom, and then we'll call it a day. All right, that sound good? Who's got one off the bat? Andrea, let's go.
All right, stay focused. I'm single focused. I did one blog, one product for 4 years. I just like, if you can just stay focused on the one thing that's actually working. It's often said in digital marketing circles, like, you just, you get something working and then you go do something else. Don't do that. That's my biggest advice.
Yes. So good. Yes, so true. Who else?
I'll say
Karen.
one. So I love that phrase that you're 3 feet from gold. As an entrepreneur, I just think it can get overwhelming. You can get bogged down by some of the problems, but I'm telling you, so many times, like, I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I've had some really good successes in my career, but like, I could have had bigger successes, but I gave up too soon. And I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I was like so close to going to the moon. So just remember that. And I think you guys are just so smart to have Steven as your mentor, because I think that's the key, is having really good mentors to let you know, like, oh, you just need to make this tweak and then you can strike the gold. So don't give up. You're closer than you think you are.
So good. So good.
I'll jump in real quick. I just want to say, if you're ever worried about what you're doing and kind of confused on, how you're going to manage the day, just remember how courageous you've already been. You're just even attempting this and doing it and putting yourself forward and having your idea. Like, you are the ultimate creative. Business is the ultimate creative sport. And you get to manage your company to the life that you want, not the other way around. And we all get stuck as entrepreneurs as sort of letting the business run us, but it is there to help you. So keep your eye on the ball and build the thing that's going to also create the life that you want. But know that you've already, just being here alone, and certainly being connected with Steven and the whole Rainmaker family, is such an awesome benefit. As opposed to going it alone, which is like terrifying. So congratulations on being courageous enough to be at this point, and don't underestimate the power of that for yourselves.
I'll piggyback on Stephen being an awesome mentor. It's cool because Stephen he's a close friend of mine, but also I love picking his brain because he's such a good marketer, and I've learned a lot from Stephen. So my piece of advice would be, know your numbers. No, I'm just kidding, Andrea. Well, shots fired. No, I am a numbers fanatic, guys. I always have been. I'm all about but you gotta do what works for you. Don't stress yourself out. I would say this. You're only one fall away. No, I'm just kidding. The biggest thing the biggest thing I would focus on, any phase of business is don't forget to go back to the basics. Anytime I'm looking at building, launching new products, I'm always going back to, what's the story? How am I positioning this product? What makes us different? And how am I going to market this? And I think sometimes we get so inundated with the day-to-day of business that we forget about the fun stuff like marketing. Like, for me, I love marketing. And so I would just encourage you with those things. Don't get bogged down with the operations of the business to where you forget about the first love of why you started this business in the first place.
So good. So good. I'm going to bring Megan and Tammy up. I got some shout outs, but I got to give a shout out to this team here. They ran the Inner Circle Accelerator. We have other team members that really helped run this program. Shout out to all the Inner Circle Accelerator members, graduates of this really 8-week sprint. Again, if you're in our mastermind and you're curious about the Inner Circle Accelerator, it's actually not open right now. We have our next opening for it in the fall, but we have a brand new pre-Inner Circle Accelerator that can help you prepare. So if you're like, man, I would love to strengthen my brand messaging to kind of dial in the brand for scaling, set really healthy foundation, do things in the business like simple stuff, right? But like funnels and email lists and things that are going to increase the value of your brand. If you're in our mastermind, scan this link or go to rainmakerlinks.com/level up, and you can hop on a call with one of the success coaches and just let them know you're interested in Inner Circle, and they can show you more, take a look at your brand, see if it's a good fit. If you're not in our mastermind and you're just, watching this in one of our community groups or on YouTube, and you want to get more information, you can also scan this link and there's a button for you guys as well. So huge shout out to the Rainmaker team. Couldn't do it without you guys. Huge shout out to the community. This community is such a giving community. If you're an Inner Circle member, definitely download the chat. I think you can let's see. Can you click down there in the chat? Oh no, what did I click? I don't know what I clicked, guys, but okay. We'll download the chat. We'll send it to the Inner Circle members because there's been a lot of gold in the chat as well. Just people just giving. So thank you, community, for doing that. And then we took notes of any connections and things, and we might connect some people behind the scenes. So thank you to all the sharks for being here. Thank you to the Inner Circle members, team, everyone. This is one of my favorite events of the year. So we couldn't do it without you all. All right. So with that, I'm playing the song one more time and we're going to end it out. Okay. You guys ready? Set, go. All right. Bye, everyone. We love you so much. Have an amazing day. Have a good weekend. Thank you for being here.